Good, happy Sunday evening. Is Sunday, April 19, 2026. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Sunday evening edition of WRMK News 12. We have a lot of news to get to on this Sunday evening, so let's begin right now. First up, fans, runners gather at FanFest ahead of the Boston Marathon. Tomorrow, the Boston Marathon in Boston. That is happening tomorrow. Fans and runners from around the world gathered at FanFest in the days leading up to the Boston Marathon, taking part in festivities celebrating one of the world's most iconic races. The event featured photo opportunities, live podcast recordings, official Boston Marathon merchandise, as well as food and games for attendees. Participants traveled from across the United States and internationally, with runners representing places such as Colombia, Mexico, and Missouri. Many runners said they were feeling a mix of nerves and excitement as race day approaches, eager to see months of training come to fortune. And tomorrow will be that big day of the Boston Marathon. Boy Scout aid injured counselor in mountain rescue on Mount Chicora. A group of Boy Scouts from Nashua played a key role in assisting their injured counselor during a backcountry rescue on Mount Chicora Saturday afternoon, according to New Hampshire Fish and Game officials. The incident occurred along the Company Falls Trail, where 51-year-old Joanna of Wolfboro reportedly slipped and fell, fracturing her left ankle. Authorities said Joanna contacted 911 dispatchers at approximately 1:50 p.m. She was more than 3 miles from the trailhead at the time of the accident and was hiking with 6 members of Boy Scout Troop 232 and another counselor. Officials noted the group was well equipped and prepared for the conditions. Using their training, the scouts worked together to stabilize Joanna's injury by splitting her ankle and applying ice to reduce swelling and managed pain while waiting help. Rescue teams from the Lakes region search and rescue alongside Fish and Game personnel responded to the scene and reached the group shortly before 4:30 p.m. Joanna was then carried down the trail to the parking area. She was transported to Memorial Hospital in North Conway, arriving at approximately 8:05 p.m., authorities said. 2 airlifted to hospital following serious crash on Route 10 in Winchester. 2 people were airlifted to a hospital following a 2-vehicle crash on Route 10 in Winchester on Saturday, authorities said. Emergency crews responded to the scene shortly after 1:30 p.m. after receiving reports of a collision involving 2 cars. According to police, a total of 3 individuals sustained injuries in the crash. Officials said 2 of the victims were transported by helicopter to a nearby hospital due to the severity of their injuries. The conditions of those involved have not been released. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. 8 children killed in Shreveport shooting. Suspect dead after a police chase. A gunman killed 8 children early Sunday in Shreveport in what authorities described as a domestic disturbance. The victims range in age 1 to 14 years old, officials said. The shooting occurred around 6 a.m. local time. According to Shreveport Police Corporal Chris, the suspect fled the scene following the incident, prompting a police pursuit. The individual was later shot and killed. Authorities have not released additional details as the investigation remains ongoing. Trump says U.S. Navy seized Iranian-flagged vessel in the Gulf of Oman. President Donald Trump said Sunday afternoon that the U.S. Navy attacked an Iranian-flagged cargo ship in the Gulf of Oman, and that U.S. Marines have taken control of the vessel. In a post on his social media platform, Trump stated that American forces carried out the operation and subsequently took custody of the ship. No additional details about the incident, including the circumstances surrounding the attack or the status of those aboard the vessel, were immediately available. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's talk about sports. Let's go in your sports news right now. And in sports news, Red Sox trail Tigers midway through game at Fenway. The Boston Red Sox are facing an uphill battle as they trail the Detroit Tigers 5-1 in the top of the 7th inning. Detroit broke the game open with a 4-run 5th inning after a quiet start from both teams. The Tigers have trailed 9 hits so far, capitalizing on timely offensive, while Boston struggled to generate momentum at the plate with just 3 hits. Red Sox scored their lone run early, but have been held in check since, unable to respond to Detroit's surge. With the game entering its late stages, Boston will need to quick rally to close the gap and keep pace at home. Celtics dominate 76ers in Game 1 of the playoff series. The Boston Celtics opened their playoff run in commanding fashion Sunday, defeating the Philadelphia 76ers in 123-91 in Game 1 of their first round series. Boston set the tone early, jumping out to a strong first quarter and maintaining control throughout the game. The Celtics outscored Philadelphia in every quarter, showcasing balance, scoring, and high-powered offense that provided too much for the 76ers to contain. The Celtics carried a double-digit lead into the halftime and never looked back, continuing to extend their average and advantage in the second half behind consistent shooting and defense pressure. With the win, Boston takes a 1-0 lead in the series, while Philadelphia will look to regroup ahead of Game 2. Bruins set to open playoff series against Sabres tonight. The Boston Bruins will begin their playoff champion tonight with a Game 1 matchup against Buffalo Sabres, with the puck drop scheduled at 7:30 p.m. Entering the series, both teams start with a clean slate as they look to gain an early advantage in the opening round. The Bruins, who finished fourth in the Atlantic Division, will aim to establish momentum on the ice. Boston will rally on its physical style to play and defensive structure to set the tone, while Buffalo looks to counter with speed and offensive pressure. With intensity of playoff hockey set to begin, Game 1 could prove a pivotal in shaping the direction of the series. And that does it for this Sunday evening edition of WRMK News 12. Thank you for tuning in and watching this Sunday evening edition. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with more news coverage. Good night and goodbye.